All right, guys, it's time to check out this Hamilton Intra-Matic. So first off, big thanks, as always, to my friend Mimo from Mimo's Jewelry. I'll put a link to his website in the description. He is my preferred authorized dealer for Hamilton. He carries Seiko as an authorized dealer. He carries G-Shock as an authorized dealer, and a few other brands, and he's always looking at expanding potentially. But I think his current lineup of even the three big hitters, in my opinion, the Hamilton, Seiko, and G-Shock, are just, it's hard to top those three brands in their segments for sure. And that Hamilton owns, pretty much the field watch segment. And this is a slight departure, but still kind of plays in that area. So let's get into this one, and we'll talk a little bit more about my thoughts on it. So first off, case size, 40 millimeter, perfect size, right? 47 lug to lug, full polished case, nice angular turn down lugs there. You can see a signed 6 millimeter crown that is a push-pull crown. It's only 11 millimeter thick, but that's including the double domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on it. 20 millimeter lug width, and it comes on this, Hamilton makes, or uses anyway, I don't know who makes them, but they use some of the best leather straps out there. Depending on which model you get, it's going to be, the correct leather strap for that model. In this case, you have a slightly padded top section, and then it flattens out, so it's just leather, so it's going to curve and be super comfortable on wrist, but it'll present well. You have one fixed keeper, and then you have one floating keeper, and then you have a full polished hardware out at the end that is also signed Hamilton. On the case back here, you can look. It has a pretty low water resistance. You might notice that. 2.5. Oh, wait. 7 2.5. So that's a weird. I've never noticed that number on the back of a watch. 7.25 psi. So I don't know what is that. Guys, help me out here. I don't know how to convert my 72.5 bar over. So anyway, it'll be water resistant to a certain extent, but you're not going to want to go swimming with it. So you can see this is a very clean, classic dial and hand layout here on a full polished thin case. You can see you have kind of an off-white center part of the dial, the main part of the dial, with a boxed cutout for the date at 6. And then you have a really nice chapter, I don't know if you can call it a chapter ring, because it's part of the dial, in black, and it's hard to get the angle, and I don't think it's the crystal. I think the dial itself towards the edge actually kind of dives down, it curves down a little bit, so it gives it a little bit of different play visually when you look at it at different angles. With that double domed sapphire, you have no distortion, but yet you can, if you look closely, you can see that the dial, as it goes to the perimeter, kind of curves down a little bit, so kind of a fun little detail. And you can see excellent applied polished indices and an excellent polished handset with a stark black seconds hand all the way. So easy to read and easy to follow that seconds hand. I really like the font, the classic Hamilton logo, and then the angle. You can see the Hamilton and the automatic are in a forward angle, and then you have Intra-Matic and a very clean font down at the bottom, Swiss made. So just my first impressions of this watch kind of reminded me of their chronograph that I really like, their Intra-Matic chronograph one, but obviously without the subdials. So then really even that watch, so both of these in that lineup, in their, was it the American Classic lineup or something, kind of reminds me, and I'm sure this is 100% what they were trying to capture, but it's basically like a new old stock watch, but made with modern materials. I personally don't like to buy used vintage type watches. I know a lot of people do, but a lot of us actually like the way those look, but they just want them in a new modern material constructed type watch. And I feel like they 100% nailed that feeling, that theme with this model and a few of their others. They even do it with some of their field watches. So this one, I think, kind of lands in the category of everyday wear type watch, casual, dress casual type sort of thing. So This is going to be on a lot of wrist of people that, you know, have kind of office jobs or partial office jobs or something like that. But yeah, you can, you know, this could be a weekend watch for you too, an afternoon watch or something. So it's going to fill a lot of roles, I think. So let's pop this guy on wrist. Here's the hang tag real quick if you want to look at the part number. I will, obviously it'll be in the description as well, but I'm not going to read that number. They don't, we're going to call it the Hamilton Intra-Matic, but retail price on this is $9.95. I will put a discount code that is authorized by Mimo down in the description, so you can use that code that I provide down there. Oh, just, I know it's a totally different size watch, but I was wearing my Tudor Black Bay. Also a pretty good classic looking watch. This one a little more classic looking, I think, but let's pop this guy on wrist. Yeah, the leather strap is just perfect for this watch. The weight of it, like, it's a pretty light combination, and it's thin and just full polish, just screams like everyday wear type watch to me. Super legible. You still get your date. There's another colorway too. I think there's like a blue one. It's almost the same kind of scenario they did with the chronograph one. They basically did it with this configuration. So there's the two different ones, which I think Mimo sold out of the blue dial one right now. So he has this off-white one still. I know he at least has one because that's this one right here. So, and that's the only time it's been worn or put on wrist right there. So I'll wipe it down, put it back in the box. So if you want to buy this one, you can do that. It's using the Hamilton H10 movement, which as far as I can tell is they're all basically the 80-hour power reserve ETA C07.621 movement. There's no display case back on this one, obviously, but I think if there were, I could zoom in and I could show you that C07.621 number on it. There is a little bit of loom on this, and we can do the Loom Shot, but it's not going to be crazy bright. But there is a little bit of loom on this. But this isn't the kind of watch that you're going to expect a lot of loom, right? So, but it's there. I mean, it's a thin application on the handset, obviously, and then on the indices. I mean, let me tell you, the older Hamiltons, I would totally just dismiss and not even maybe mess around with doing the Loom Shot. But these newer ones, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're using C3 and just doing a regular application of it, because the loom actually shows up and it seems to last. So they definitely improved the loom. So, but anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And big thanks to Mimo again for always sending in the coolest watches. I'll see you guys in the next vid.